So, welcome to the 5th episode of the M+M Podcast. We're back after almost a 4-week break, I think.
A long break. That was
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
we had a lot of stuff going on.
I wanted to get back into podcasting.
So we're back. And the first topic we're going to hit you up with, as you can see, we're at my house. Recording this one. This is the second at my house, so you recorded the first one. We're recording this on my camera, which is 720 HD. So
better than the laptop we used, and a Turtle Beach headset for a microphone, so this might hopefully be better.
I think we just have to talk loud in this. We're going to raise the volume. So let's talk about FIFA World Cup.
So basically,
as you know already, these guys won.
Germany
won. I think they deserve to win the most.
They were a good team, I thought. I was, like, every other team, like Brazil, Portugal, and Argentina, Brazil has Neymar, Argentina has Messi, and then Portugal has Ronaldo, and Germany has a complete team.
Yeah, I mean,
just filled with talent all around the board.
There's not many teams that have a whole team of talent. U.S. has a whole team of talent.
Yeah, definitely.
But like Argentina has like Messi, who's great.
Di Maria from Real Madrid.
And they only have like 3 other good,
Higuain,
good players. The rest are kind of decent.
And Higuain
Aguero. Germany's got like
bench players that you can bring on. And
they have bench players that are good. They're like better than average.
Andre Schürrle is a bench player, and he comes on for a sub. Gertz
is a sub,
and he scores
the winning goal. Yeah. Klose broke the record. I'm not really surprised. I think Muller in 2 years he'll break.
He already has
record.
10. He has 10 to 11 goals already.
10 goals already.
And he probably will be there for the next World Cup. So how much is the record?
13? 16 or 17 that Klose set.
Wow, so he has like a couple
He has a good
goals.
chance. Yeah. He has a good chance of
if he hits like another hat trick, then
how many does Ronaldo have? Like 2?
1 or 2, 3 maybe.
3 in all World Cup. And then Muller is not even a striker. Muller is
he's a goal poacher though.
He's like a right mid.
He's like a right mid, yeah. I think
right mid.
In the World Cup, in the World Cup, I think he played more striker because they had. They played more like a 4-3-3, and they had him up top, and then I guess they kind of moved Podolski out, and then had Muller play right, and then Klose. Yeah,
U.S. They went pretty far. They went to the
round of 16.
Yeah, they got out. They got to the round of 16. They lost to Belgium.
Unfortunately.
I don't think anyone was surprised, but Tim Howard, man.
He
had 19 saves. That was like the most since 66.
Yeah. Better than Neuer could do.
Germany's defense wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
Neuer didn't need to. Yeah. Neuer got the Golden Glove because he had the most clean sheets.
Yeah, that is true.
And Tim Howard, I think Tim Howard ran probably more than the rest of his team.
Yeah.
Because
he was in his goal.
I know. He still ran a lot.
He would just have to dive. He didn't have to run.
He actually ran a lot.
Really?
Yeah. The goalie box is pretty big.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're not running like a big.
I know, but how many chances did the U.S. get of scoring? Very few.
But they scored
Belgium had 19.
And they only scored on twice.
Yeah, I know. I think Belgium, they played pretty good. They could have done better.
Yeah,
but
I think USA could. I think
USA had a chance.
I think they could have deserved that one.
I think so.
If you watched the last, I think it was like the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes, Wondolowski gets the ball, and he's right there in front of the net with the keeper on the ground kind of, Courtois, and he just puts it sailing over.
Yeah.
And I knew right after he missed that, I knew that was going to come back to haunt them. Karma just bit them.
I don't know if Argentina shouldn't even made it to the finals. I think Netherlands really should have made it.
I wanted to see a South American team.
I don't know. Oh, Germany absolutely blew the guts out of
Brazil,
the host team, they had like a 30% chance of winning going in.
That was embarrassing. And then after they scored like 3 of the goals, it was probably like...
I don't think they ever lived up to anyone's expectations. They got lucky in a lot of their games. If you remember the Chile game, the penalties, they just slightly edged out Chile.
I was so...
There's so many chances for them to be eliminated. They never beat They were supposed to, like, beat Mexico. They tied them. Like, that was huge. Like, they'd never lived up to expectation. They almost lost to Croatia in that first game.
Well, then after they let up, after Neymar scored, it was kind of just like... It was over.
Yeah. And then Germany
for like the first couple of rounds, they were kind of, you know...
They were just good enough.
I wasn't expecting them to go that far. Like, because how they were playing, and then they just started to raise and raise.
They had to be clutch.
Just like how Italy did in 2006. They were, they were, under, and then they just kind of started playing good, and then they beat Germany in the semifinals, and then they went to the finals, played France, and they beat them in penalties.
France actually shouldn't even have been in it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Poland, they got that super lucky call. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, that, I don't know, but I think Germany probably was the most deserving team. I think Netherlands.
Netherlands could have, but I just how their defense is, like, they played 3 defenders, is kind of odd. Not odd, it's just kind of shaky, because, like, I don't know who Martin's Indy is, and he's, like, if you guys, like, have Instagram and all, they made a huge, like, big deal about one time he made his face, like his eyes were, like, huge, and not huge, but he was, like, made this face, and now everybody, like, posts a picture of him. Or even when the goalie was sitting on the post, and he was, like, moving the wall, and now they have him, like, sitting on stuff and, like, make crop stuff in.
Yeah.
And then there's a video of Neymar when he got injured. They had, like, all these weird things, like somebody whipping him on the back, and he's like, ah!
Oh, that was... Yeah.
I actually thought he was faking that when Colombia, the Colombian player, I forget the guy's name, but he kneed the Neymar in the back, and then Neymar.
I just think that Argentina, they were a little, like, they kind of faked some.
No,
it was
Chile that was like.
Oh, Chile was the master.
I think they could have won a Golden Globe.
A Golden Globe. Forget about the. Yeah. So. I would just about say that wraps up the World Cup. Yeah, so Germany won, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 seconds. Alright, so welcome back. This section we're going to talk about basketball, all the moves, the trades,
and all that stuff.
Draft, yeah. Missed a lot while we were gone, obviously. The market was kind of frozen before LeBron made his decision to go 2.0
to go back home. Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I doubt he's gonna get that. He obviously didn't go there for money.
No, he went there to go back home because he got paid like 20.
He got paid like 20 mil a year,
40 something.
Which
like that,
obviously
2 years, and then he can opt out of the first one.
Obviously, it's not nothing, but
he has 2 years, and then he can opt out of the first one. I think if he does opt out, I think it's just to get more money for the.
Probably. All right. Yeah. So nothing really happened before that. There were a few, but after LeBron James went,
Chris Bosh. Before he made his decision to go to Cleveland. He said Chris Bosh said if LeBron goes to Cleveland, he said he was gonna go back. He was gonna go to Houston instead of going back to Miami.
He played the system very well.
And then
he got how many years did he get?
For the Miami Heat?
The Heat, yeah.
Maybe 4, I think.
I think he got like 4 years, 120 mil.
118.
He definitely played the system.
Yeah, I remember. I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, he probably just signed with the Rockets, and then I see he's finalizing a deal with the Heat. I'm like,
yeah, because
that was odd.
He knew how to play the system. He basically threatened Miami, saying if
he goes in.
Basically, he was getting ransom. I think he played the system just absolutely perfectly. But after that...
He got more money, that's all the problem he wanted.
Yeah, he just wanted more money. Then after that, Carmelo stayed with the Knicks.
I was so happy.
He stayed with his heart team, like LeBron.
I thought, at first before after the season ended. I thought because they were like, oh, he's probably gonna leave. He's probably go to Houston or Chicago, but then or the Lakers. And then as time progressed, Houston fell out, and then it was mostly the Lakers. At one point, it was the Lakers and the Knicks, and then the Bulls, and then the Knicks at the end, and then he just decided to come back home.
Yeah, he wanted to stay in New York. He didn't really care much about the money then. Mario Chalmers
He
stayed
did care
with
about the money because the money.
Well, obviously.
$129 million. That was the biggest deal.
I know, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think he would have taken, even if it was like $5 million more over someone else. Yeah, Chalmers stayed with the Heat. Luol Deng.
Yeah, Luol Deng made a
went
transition
to the Heat. He kind of switched the other way. Dirk stayed with the Mavs.
He signed a couple years with them.
Boozer left the
Lakers.
Bulls on waivers, and the Lakers claimed him on waivers, so he got there. Paul Pierce went to the Wizards.
And then Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin.
He
went
was
to the Rockets.
released.
Released.
He was traded because the Houston Rockets needed cap room to try to get LeBron or Carmelo and Chris Bosh, or they were trying to save cap room for Carmelo or Chris Bosh. The Lakers at the beginning of the what's it called, off season. They were like, oh, let's get LeBron and Carmelo together, and now what they got was Jeremy Lin.
They got rid of Jeremy Lin.
No, they got Jeremy Lin. The Lakers.
Oh yeah, the Lakers got
and Carlos Boozer.
Paul Gasol left the Lakers. He went to the Bulls.
So basically, Boozer and Paul.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talks that he was going to come to New York.
Yeah,
he would have been a good fit. I
think he would. Nick Young stayed with the Lakers.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's a good little player.
Ray Allen, he's still a free agent. They don't know where to go. So
he might the big answer to his free agency is he's probably gonna go to Cleveland because they're already trying to get Mike Miller, another.
And player. I think Kevin Love's probably the biggest player.
I think he's going.
Going to Cleveland, just with LeBron, kind of.
Yeah, because they were already saying that that's getting close and close every day. So we'll see.
All right. So I think that just about wraps up basketball. We'll be back in a sec. So. All right. So we're back. Yeah, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the MLS.
And their growth and their expansion.
Their growth. They've actually grown a lot.
They have.
Every time there's a World Cup, there's always a spike in viewership. That's mainly due to people who still want to watch soccer. Every World Cup, 2010, 2006, 2014, every time
it
the
grows
viewership
and it grows and it grows.
Yeah, so originally the MLS started, the first season was 96, and back then they had 11 teams? I think 11. Did they have 11 teams?
I think it was 11. I'm not sure because I wasn't in the whole
it was
MLS
kind of
thing until it was like the first year we went to Giants Stadium.
Well, the whole thing, it was like the league was legally established in 93, kind of it was part of their bid to host the 94 World Cup. Anyway.
And actually the Red Bulls, they weren't even called New York Red Bulls. They were called the New York Metro Stars.
Did they start in 96?
Yeah, they were called the Metro Stars. And then it was sold, like Michael Bradley, Tim Howard, Mike Pecky, they all played for them, and Josie Altidore, I think, played for the Metro Stars. Yeah, it was like an American team right there. And then Bradley went on, and Josie stayed until
10 teams. They started with 10 teams.
10 teams, okay.
Yeah, they had the MLS is kind of like, obviously it's in America, so it's like an Americanized version of a soccer league.
And it has some 3 Canadian teams, right?
Yeah, they have 3 Canadian teams: the Vancouver Whitecaps,
and then there's Toronto FC.
Then the Montreal Impact. Yeah, those teams are in Canada. The soccer pyramid, if you don't Canada. If you haven't heard of the soccer pyramid, in other countries like Britain, Germany, Spain, all
Italy.
them, they have multiple leagues, kind of like a minor leagues, but kind of different. So
Like an A, a B,
like
and then it goes down.
in Germany, they have the Bundesliga, which is their top main league, and the bottom 3 teams get eliminated, and they go down to the Bundesliga 2. The top 3 teams in the Bundesliga 2 go up, so they replace the other teams, and the bottom 3 teams in the Bundesliga 2 go down to
they get relegated.
League 3.
Yeah,
I think it's called League 3 or something like that. Yeah, they get relegated to League 3. The top 3 teams in League 3 go up to Bundesliga 2. So basically, whatever league. So Bundesliga is Germany's level 1 in the pyramid. Bundesliga 2 is 2, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Most countries have at least 1, 2. Some countries like Scotland, they only have 1.
1.
Ireland only has 1.
MLS has only 1.
But
too.
that's mainly because
But they're
market.
growing. It's growing.
The MLS only has 1, and I think they're gonna have like the most soccer teams in a
Definitely.
league because they don't want to start that relegation system. So since they are the MLS is League 1 and in U.S. and Canada on the soccer pyramid in the U.S. and Canada. And there is no 2 because there's nothing under it.
Yeah,
you
there
can't
isn't.
go anywhere. Doesn't matter how bad you are. I think Chivas, USA, and LA, they're the worst team. They don't go anywhere.
They just stay there and
It's like American sports. They don't have, like, in baseball, there's a minor league system, but
AAA, AA, and
there's independent teams can't play in the leagues, or they might be able to, but the teams can't move up or down. And most teams are owned by a major league team. There are some independent leagues, like over here we have the Jackals.
Yeah, the Jackals.
Yeah.
I've been to their games. I remember one game they lost terribly. It was,
Yeah.
They're not that good, but you know.
They're good. They're like the home
proud.
MLB minor league team. Yankees AAA team is the
Thunderstorm.
no, that's their double. No, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees.
Oh, okay.
That's their AAA, which is like the level below that. But
And then the
They-
double
they-
A. What's
they
the
never-
double A?
Trent Thunder.
The Thunder. That's what it
Trent.
was. Okay, yeah.
So MLS doesn't have that, but MLS has been growing for a while now.
Yeah.
When it started,
There was
most teams were losing money. Like, they didn't make money each year. They actually lost money. There was only like 10 teams. And then, I think 2005, they started to grow a lot. Like, they went from 10 teams. Now they're up to... This year they're up to 19 teams.
And now they're growing even more. They're going to have Orlando City. They're going to have then Atlanta. Atlanta's going to start growing up, I think, a couple more years.
2017.
2017. And then...
They haven't, like, established the team, but they have big plans.
Yeah, they're growing. They're making a stadium instead of having them play where the Falcons play because they rather have it different.
Yeah.
And then New York FC is now next year they're gonna start in Yankee Stadium, and then sooner or later they're gonna start building like Red Bull Arena.
Yeah.
But they did Red Bulls. They actually were in Giant Stadium, and then
Used to be.
MetLife, and they moved. And they used to be
They
on the
built a
turf, and it was
stadium.
terrible. And it was just like the football lines, and it was one of the worst fields. And now, Red Bull Arena is one of the nicest stadiums.
Yeah,
Been to.
the Red Bulls now actually have their own soccer stadium. I think they rent it out to other venues, right? Like Giant Stadium rents it out to other people, like concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
They do that. But it's built
Red Bull,
for
yeah,
the Red Bulls.
Yeah, not for like. But they like sometimes have like friendlies
Yeah,
between
obviously.
like other like women's and like
Yeah,
other World Cup.
They have
kinda
other
teams.
things, but it's built for that New York City FC and
They'll have
Orlando,
Orlando.
Orlando City SC.
They have
They're-
Kaká. They just picked up Kaká.
Yeah.
And then not Orlando. The New York City FC picked up David Villa and Frank Lampard in like last couple days. They picked up Frank
Yeah.
Lampard. I heard that their season tickets haven't been selling like 2,000, and that's nothing compared to like Red Bull fans. Like there's like 8,000, maybe 9,000.
Yeah, the problem
supporters.
is New York City,
like season tickets.
New York City FC was supposed to have. They wanted to build a stadium in Queens, but they didn't let them. So they're gonna play their first season at Yankee Stadium because the Yankees partially own them.
And what's it called? Actually, the Cosmos did that when they used to have their old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
they did that too. They had them there for a couple of years, and then they, before they even went to Yankee Stadium, they had like this other place by Ellis Island, I think. And then after that, they moved to Yankee Stadium, I think, and then they moved to Giants Stadium.
I think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Giants Stadium came into play, but I know they went from like this stadium in Ellis Island, and then they went to.
Right now
it took a while to get there.
Right now, New York has one team, the Red Bulls, but they've already established New York City FC. They play next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good competition.
New York City FC and Orlando City FC. They start playing next year, and I think Atlanta, like, they haven't started, but I think they start playing they're supposed to start playing in 2017.
I like how in the MLS and like how they don't have like they have the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. They don't have like the American League and the National League.
They don't have division. They don't really have enough teams for divisions.
I'm just saying like they don't have like American and National, like they don't have like the Mets and the Yankees rarely play each other. Like
that's because they're another side.
Like because they'll have the Eastern and then the Western.
New York City is going to be obviously in the Eastern.
Yeah, because what's it called? FC Dallas is actually in the Eastern, and now after having now Atlanta and they cut it differently, but
they split it now.
They're gonna have this. They're gonna have FC Dallas move over to the Western because they're picking up Orlando and.
Since there's an odd number, does the Eastern have more teams than the Western?
Yeah.
So they're probably going to boot Dallas out?
Yeah, they're going to have to go to the Western and then...
Or they could put Kansas City in the Western.
They could, but I think FC Dallas sounds more...
Because Kansas only has one team. Texas has two teams.
Like in what's it called?
Houston and Dallas.
In the NBA, they have Dallas Mavericks and then... Dallas plays in the Western.
Yeah.
And
Houston plays in the Western.
Yeah, Houston and the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, they like to split. But since they're adding two more teams until Atlanta comes in, then they can have even.
Yeah.
But nothing much changes. But since New York and Orlando, are they going to have to switch?
Probably.
I don't know. Since it's odd number already.
It is. They have to add more, but they have to add more Western.
Yeah, I think that the balance could get off-shifted just due to the amount of cities in the East.
Okay.
Because you know how there's more cities on the East
than the West, yeah.
So it depends. They have some...
The Western Conference has some really good teams.
They have some good teams, but they also have some small market teams.
They do, yeah. They have like FC Dallas is a small market.
No, Dallas isn't a small market.
No, I mean like as like in the MLS, like who wants to go to FC Dallas though?
Small market teams meaning that the city is small. Like the Bobcats are a small market.
I thought you meant like more like a team that like I know what you mean like Real Salt Lake. No.
Salt Lake's kind of a small. Colorado, what?
Yeah, Colorado Rapids.
Colorado Rapids. That's a more small market.
Does
San Francisco have a team?
San Francisco, no. It's just LA Galaxy.
And Chivas.
Yeah, but Chivas is not in MLS.
Chivas USA.
No, Chivas.
Chivas. I don't know how to say it.
Chivas.
I don't know.
It's like, Chivas.
Chivas. I don't really.
Chivas. MLS. Yeah, Chivas is in... Yeah, okay. You completely threw me off. I thought that was like their under... Oh.
No.
Yeah, Chivas USA.
What is it? The Earthquakes.
San Jose.
San Jose. Where is San Jose?
It's in...
No, I know it's in California, but...
I think it's like the... Or no, I think it's...
Is it by San Francisco? I think it's by there. No, San Jose? Wait.
San Jose is by...
There's Earthquakes. But anyway, then there's Oregon has the
Oregon, Seattle Sounders. They have probably
Seattle
the
Sounders.
best home crowd.
That's Washington. Seattle's in Washington.
So
No, doesn't Oregon?
Oregon does not have a team.
Wait, what's the capital of Oregon?
Salem.
Salem. Oh wait.
Salem does have like a team that's like
Yeah,
in the low like
What?
okay.
Wait. Isn't there a North American conference?
Like,
There's
cause they have
a
like,
league.
cause like when they're
The
playing
Timbers.
Portland.
Yes, Portland's in Oregon. Oregon
Yes,
has a team.
I forgot.
I knew it. And then
Yeah, Portland's good too. They have a great home crowd too.
yeah, the MLS. It's definitely been growing since
Definitely.
mainly 08. They just kept
Going up.
going up. Like
I don't like their logo.
the San Jose Earthquakes.
It's actually it looks better than the old one, but it's still a little like weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I'll show you a picture here. The the Cleveland. No, where do the Crew play?
Crew Columbus.
Columbus Crew. Their picture is like actual people. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
It is.
It's weird for a
They're not that
sports team.
good, but they have Higuain's brother. His
Who?
older brother. Columbus.
No, what's his name?
I forget his- Yeah, Gonzalo. You remember the guy that
Oh.
plays for Argentina?
Yeah.
His brother, his older brother
Higuain,
plays.
yeah.
I forget his first name, but he plays for.
He's like a second. He's like a large spender. Spender.
Yeah, but he's
Kind of like that. Yeah, obviously, Gonzalo Higuain.
is much better
Argentina
because he
is
plays
much better.
in
He
like-
plays in.
like Wayne Rooney's brother was he
Like-
played for Red Bulls, but he never played. Like
Where-
he'll come in for like the last 2 minutes. You're like, oh, Rooney.
Yeah. Where would you rank like? Obviously the MLS isn't a European stuff,
Definitely. Yeah.
but like,
Where
I would
rank
say it
Where would you rank it? Like top
at like
10,
league. Like
top
I
10?
would put it at New Zealand, at a level of New Zealand.
What do you mean?
Like Australia, New Zealand's leagues, I think it would be around there, at the same same
I think
merit.
I think it's higher.
than Australia.
Definitely. Much.
What about Portugal? I would put it at the same as Portugal.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, but there's more.
Portugal.
The
Brazil.
problem is with Portuguese. There's like you don't really know much players from the Portuguese.
No, because they outsource to
No,
Europe.
because then in the MLS, there's Thierry Henry, Tim Cahill, David Villa,
Yeah, there are.
Frank Lampard, Kaká, Landon Donovan, David Beckham played there.
Yeah, there are a lot of players, but
Yeah, you know more than.
I think. But also, I mean, obviously the MLS attendance actually has passed NBA and the NHL. I doubt it'll ever pass the NFL. The MLB.
It's kind of going down. I feel like.
The MLB. I don't know. It's probably around there.
I feel
but,
like the MLB is going down year after year with views.
Views. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think attendance has changed.
No, I think it has.
Attendance.
I think it has. But what's it called? Talking about views for the World Cup for USA, because
Yeah,
the World
they got
Cup's
so
been
many.
for USA. It's been growing. For the MLS, they got more view. The USA Portugal game had more triple or double the amount of views than the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, I think
That kind of makes sense because
the
you only have two teams. Like the two teams that were playing, the Rangers and the LA Kings. Those are big market teams, and you would think that'd get a lot of views.
Yeah.
But like it's two cities. It's not like the whole country is rooting for you and watching this. It's like it's more people with it.
I think
Right.
I'm pretty sure the NHL is the lowest professional league views. Then I think it's the NBA. Then I think
the
it's
NBA is pretty high.
No, they're not. Believe it or not.
Really? You
No,
would think
they're not really that. Because it's only in like urban markets, urban, suburban. But like south, it's most like a lot of other places. It's just college, like NBA.
Like
They
Alabama.
it's-
Alabama has
NBA's
no other. Mississippi, they don't have any other like.
I know that. But I think NBA has been on the rise, but they still aren't historically
big. Yeah.
big. And then I think the MLB is too. MLB playoffs get a lot more than NBA playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot more. I think it's also because MLB has just so many games regular season, but playoff time,
nobody gets a chance to see
Yeah.
it. And then the playoffs, everybody's like, oh, the playoffs are on. And
yeah,
it's
the
more
playoffs
into
is
it.
big in MLB. NFL gets outstanding views.
Yeah, because there's
Just
games every
so-
Sunday or maybe Monday, and it's easier for you to find it because
Oh yeah,
you're like, oh
it's
yeah, I forgot
every
it today.
single-
Well, they have Thursday night, but
Thursday
that's
night,
Monday night, and Sunday.
Sunday. They also have towards the end. They have like Saturday
Yeah, they have a couple because
playoffs. They have Saturday playoffs. It's just Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
It originally starts out as like Saturday, Sunday. Like I forget how many games, and then it just goes on. But also talking about playoffs, I think NBA and the NHL, like half of the league goes to the playoffs.
Okay.
And I think all of them are expanding, but NFL I think has the third most.
Yeah.
Like they're up there. They're probably like 20 out of 30. Not 20. Probably like 14 out because they have a lot. Then MLB has the least.
Yeah, definitely.
But they're expanding now. I think they're up to 2 wild cards now.
Which what are you talking about? Which sport?
In wait, what was I just saying?
There's another 2 like wild cards.
Oh, 2 in baseball.
Oh,
Didn't they add another wild card?
Yeah.
So-
I'm not a big fan of the wild card.
No, I just because there's always one division where there's a team that there's a division where a team it's great, and there's 2, sometimes even 3 great teams that are competing for the division. And so originally when it was 1, usually it would just go to someone who was in an amazing division, but they just couldn't win the division.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, I guess, kind of a problem. So they added 2. I like it where it's just like you pick, like it is in the NBA and the NHL.
NBA, you don't have a wild card. It just there's a
NHL just actually switched. Now there's only 4 divisions: Atlantic,
Mediterranean.
Metropolitan,
Metropolitan. That's what I meant. Not Mediterranean.
Pacific, and Midwest.
Midwest.
So it's like they basically have 3 plus like Eastern metropolitan teams.
Or like the better ones.
Because the Midwest teams are in the West, the Pacific teams are in the West, and then the Eastern is pretty much all of Atlantic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like there's 2, they just split it up. The Bruins actually left when originally the Eastern Conference, and what division were they in?
Who?
The Rangers. Rangers, Devils, and Islanders.
Aren't they in
It was originally a division of, they had 3 in each conference, so it used to be
okay.
Rangers, Islanders, Devils, which are all New York area teams, and then they had the Bruins and the Flyers, and the Bruins actually got moved to the Atlantic,
So they have to
and
play.
the others stayed in the Metropolitan then.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of like,
Difficult to kind of keep up.
yeah, they Rangers and all of them, they play the Bruins a lot less.
So it's kind of, it sounds difficult because like the NBA, it's very simple. You have to be like the top 8 teams and you're
The
through.
NBA still has the 3.
Yeah, because you don't need
And-
a wild card like in that.
But
And
them and the NHL, it's just, I don't know how the NHL works. I know it used to be just like NBA where just top 8 teams in each conference. So the NFL does the divisions and the wild cards. They have like the top divisions, everyone who wins their division, and then there's 2 wild cards. Right?
for
NFL.
yeah,
And then MLB, I think it's the same now.
might be. I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's how it works. But if MLS has now, they have 19 teams this year. So how many does it work just like the NBA?
They have, like, so there's 19 teams. So
there's 10. No. 9 in the West and 10 in the East.
Yeah.
So
you have to be top 5.
Top 5 in each.
Yeah.
Because there's 10 teams in the playoffs.
Because I remember one year when the Red Bulls made it to the finals against Columbus, and I know it sounds weird. How did the Red Bulls play Columbus? Well, they were basically, I guess, if you want to say, like, a wild card. If you want to say.
What do you mean?
Red Bulls. They were last in the whole
conference.
They were like 5th or whatever. They were the last.
They were out. They were last seed.
No, not last seed. They were so there's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then they were the 5th one, the last seed to come into the playoffs. Yeah. And they had to play DC United, which is in the Eastern, I think.
Yeah, DC. Everyone in the East.
No, not DC. Houston. I mean.
Houston. No, Houston is not in it. No, Houston isn't. No. Wait a minute. I don't think Houston is in the East.
Houston Dynamo?
I don't think they are.
If they're not, so then they had to play. Because they had to play Houston. Because then they played Houston, probably I think it was the highest seed from the Western Conference, and then they beat Houston 4-1, I think it was, or something crazy like that.
Wait, does the
3-0?
Does the MLS have like 2-game aggregates and all that?
Yeah, and then yeah.
I'll explain aggregates. Basically, you have 2 separate games in each round so like Red Bulls play, say, DC United in the first round, and you have 2 games, and so they're technically separate games, but if one team, they kind of combine the score of both.
Yeah, the goals. So let's say the first game, Red Bulls win 2-1 at home, and then the second game, DC United loses at home 2-1 against Red Bulls. Then the second game, let's say DC United scores 1 goal and it's 1-0, then it would have to go to tiebreak. I feel like it has to go to whoever has the most away goals.
Wait.
So that would have to go to the Red Bulls because they had 2.
Yeah. But say it was like 1-0 at home for the Red Bulls. They win 1-0 at home, and then DC wins 1-0 at home. Then what happens? Do they go to
extra time, and then they go to penalties?
Yeah, they do that in all.
Yeah, because back then in 2009, I think it was. I think Houston. Yeah, because then they beat Houston.
Oh, yeah.
And then after
Houston is in the East.
So then they played Houston, the top seed of the Eastern, and then they beat them. I think it was 3-0 or something crazy like that. And then after they played them, they were technically in the Western, and they had to play the best seed there. And that was I think Houston was like the 2nd seed or something, and then they had to play Real Salt Lake, the best seed, the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, and then they beat them 1-0, and then they won the Western Conference.
Hold on, I'm confused. So 5 teams in each conference make it, right?
Yeah, 5, I think.
Okay. So then,
because then the first team gets a bye.
Yeah. Oh wait.
I think the first team gets a bye, second, and then
both first teams gets a bye. Oh, because there's an uneven. So then there's 2 games in each conference.
Yeah.
And then there's 1, and then the bye team in the East plays the.
No, it changed. So back in 2009, after the Red Bulls won, because they were named the Western Conference champions because they were the last seed of the. It was an odd rule. So they were the last seed.
Wait, how many teams were there?
I don't remember.
That depends. So there was an odd number. Probably.
It was probably an odd number, but no, there was a rule. I forget exactly. But
Wait. Did the West bye team play the
East winner? The East winner. And then it was weird because then the Red Bulls were called the Western Conference champions, and they never
actually.
Yeah. It was weird. And the Red Bulls has your Western Conference champions
in one of the easternmost cities in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most western.
It's really stupid though.
The most Eastern Conference team is Houston, and the most Western Conference team is Dallas.
Yeah. And literally that game was so nerve-wracking. The Red Bulls scored not quick goal, but it was like a nice goal, and then they were just playing defense the whole game, and Real Salt Lake had chances, hit the post like 5-6 times, and then it just Red Bulls won 1-0
to become Western. What about the finals? Did
they
win?
lost to Columbus Crew like 4-1, 3-1.
Blown out.
Yeah, it wasn't good. So.
Yeah. So I think that just wraps.
Yeah, that
up
will wrap up our
everything MLS.
Yeah, the
Fifth podcast
is now going to be...
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Like everything.
Comment. Do anything. Shout us out. Do anything you can do to make this channel popular.
Just support our podcast. So we'll be back eventually.